Hello, this is Josh Hunter. I'm president in the city of Santa Monica, California. So a couple of videos back, maybe I don't know, maybe like 50 or 100 videos back. I don't remember when. Uh, I had, I remember there was this day, and I suddenly got this idea that a lot of people think that like I'm an extraterrestrial, and like they sincerely believe it. And I'm talking mainly like people like who I knew, like, because for the life of me, I couldn't seem to recall why people like would just when they'd see me on the street, like, and they knew me, I went to high school with them, this type of thing. They just didn't seem like they were such like this distance, like you are different. And I think, I think, I think a lot of people think like I'm an alien. So I have noticed some influencing factors. I'm not going to get into it as to why. I mean, why the environment would suggest to them that I'm an extraterrestrial. But I can't. I don't believe that anyone could really afford to hear that at this point. Simply because you guys like shopping during a pandemic. Anyway, what I will bring up though is that to date, I'm pretty sure there aren't very many people who have seen and met an extraterrestrial, like in person, flesh and blood. They have a lot of ideas as to what they think that would be like, but most people, I mean, there isn't there isn't anyone who's like openly on television, in the media saying I am an extraterrestrial, you know, and here's the proof. Okay, no one is saying that. So far, everyone is guessing. Okay, so what you think an extraterrestrial is what TV and movies have told you what an extraterrestrial is. You don't have any idea what that would look like. There are a lot of stars in the night sky. There are a lot of things. I mean, there could be people living inside the earth. There are all types of things that are going on here. So when you're saying like, oh, and it's not so much that it bothered me. I mean, I remember when I thought about it, I'm like, man, I can't believe these guys. Why didn't they just say something? You know, why didn't they say like, oh, we think you're an alien and you know we're gonna treat you like that? Because it just made me upset because you got this whole Black Lives Matters thing, which is the idea of like, oh, we should not be racist. But then I've seen such an overwhelming, to me anyway, if all these people believe that I'm an extraterrestrial, then and they're treating me like this way, then technically that's racism. So it's like just this massive hypocrisy that it's a little hard to stomach is all I'm saying. Anyway, so there's the difference between knowing, there's a difference between having your idea of what an extraterrestrial is, because TV and movies are going to say like, oh, an alien is like this. They're going to be like very like different. They're going to look different. They're going to sound different. They're not going to be relatable. Like, oh, you don't like fucking, that makes you an alien. Oh, you don't, you sound, you look like a black guy, but you sound a little different. You're an alien. All these things, I think it's important to remember. Now, for a lot of years, though, I did play it up. I'll admit, like when there, like let's just say that when there were opportunities to not, where there were many opportunities where someone would assume that I was an alien, I didn't dissuade them from the idea, and sometimes I played it up. Like, you know, there's this artist. His name is I think Paul Lafley, and he was one of the guys who helped design the World Trade Center. And he had a lot of, his art was sometimes referred to as visionary art. And so when people would come, I had two of his posters in my house. When people would come to my house, and it's like a lot of like unusual things. It looks like blueprints for like alien technology. And so I just play it up like I was just like some alien living around. Because, you know, I figure, what if there are aliens and like they need to feel comfortable? You know, I'm saying like, I'm not saying I'm gonna be like, you know, I'm not gonna like suck some alien cock or something, but you know, I want these guys to feel like, you know, I don't know, if they're here, there's got to be some reason, right? So whether they're good or bad, you should at least try and be friendly, is what I'm saying. But this whole like pretending like you're not racist, like a lot of people think that they're not racist. A lot of people think like they go around and they say like that they're all about equality. None of these fucks are about equality. Okay, everyone who's going around saying we're about equality, you're not about equality. You're about getting what you want. That's it. Okay, you gotta know the difference between equality and getting what you want. Because right now, all I'm seeing is a bunch of fucks who like to shop during a pandemic. At the beginning of this fucking thing, You guys were saying, we're not getting the protective gear that we need. You were complaining, you were screaming, you were saying, why didn't the government provide us with the protective gear that we need to be safe? And now you're fucking out shopping, okay? You're out in the streets right the fuck next to each other, right the fuck next to me, okay? You're eating, you're dining, you're doing all these things that going to the beach in droves, thousands of people. I have not seen so many fucking people on the streets in my entire life. I mean, since I've been homeless. Like, you guys are nuts. So that is like a very obvious hypocrisy to anyone who is paying attention. You look at 6 months ago, 8 months ago, or whenever this shit started, you guys were very much not about, like, you were angry at the government for not giving you what you wanted. And what kind of people get upset because they don't get what they want? Children, babies, okay? You throw a fucking tantrum, is what I'm saying. So, I'm saying, if you're like this, you know, if you're just someone that, why am I talking? Oh, it was about aliens, okay. So, if you're someone who thinks that, like, I'm an extraterrestrial, obviously you got the right to. If I were an extraterrestrial, let's talk about this. Let's really, because I was upset. I might delete that video because I was like, you know, I feel like a very earthy person is what I'm saying. I feel like I don't have any intention to leave the earth whatsoever. There isn't any, I'm not like fucking, you know, Jack Skellington, you know, there's something out there. Or maybe I am Jack Skellington. Alright, anyway. I have no desire to leave the earth whatsoever. Like, when I look up at the moon and night sky, I see what a bunch of fucking bullshit. Like, who the fuck would want to leave this place? It's great. But then again, maybe I'm just like, you know, if I am an extraterrestrial, maybe I'm like the kind of guy who's just like, oh, you guys got it pretty good here. Maybe I get a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Anyway, so I need to bring this up now because so far no one has particularly examined my life and the things that I'm connected to, except for me. And I got a feeling that a lot of conspiracy guys are going to think that I'm like something other than what I am. So I am trying to get ahead of this thing because I am going to be a very successful YouTuber. And I think it's important to know that. I mean, this is like my 240th video? 48? I don't know. And all these things that people would say make me unusual, they can all be traced to some legitimate origin. It just you call something alien or you call something extraterrestrial because it is unrecognizable. But if you're living a very simple life where you only want like these very basic things, then yeah, of course it's going to seem unusual. Like if your whole world is about like, you know, fucking and, you know, making sure that accommodations are comfortable for you to be able to fuck properly and to have as much sex as you want, then yeah, okay, then I'm going to look like a very unusual person. Whereas my desire is to only be at home, watch TV, play video games, and like drink alcoholic beverages, like a lot. Like that's what I want. And you guys just love fucking. And you don't want to, maybe you don't want to admit that you love fucking, but like that's what it looks like to me. And so when you examine my personality and the things that you could like trace to like being associated with me, it all adds up. It's not like some foreign thing. You just haven't taken the time to think. Most people are just like, oh, you gotta snap judgment. You gotta go quick. You gotta go. And there's no patience. Anytime you feel something, I do the same. I'm literally doing this right now. But I'm saying like most people, the moment you see something, you gotta post it on Twitter. Like no one has taught this generation self-control, is what I'm saying. And the previous generation knows what's gonna happen to you guys. You guys keep saying, okay, boomer. But they know what's gonna happen to you guys. And they're gonna let you fall on your face, because what they're doing is they're saying, "We love you. We're fucking you guys. We're your parents. We're your grandparents, and we genuinely care about you. please keep talking shit about us. We don't mind. Like, that's what they're saying to you. Meanwhile, they see this fucking shit coming up on the road and said, hey guys, watch this fucking shit. And that's what's gonna happen. So I've had a choice, okay? I'm like right in this fucking sweet spot where it's like, am I gonna be with these fucking youngsters or am I gonna be with the fucking old timers? The old timers wouldn't let me hang out with them, and the youngsters don't fucking recognize me. So I don't know. I'm just I'm gonna hang out. All right, this is rambling. Extraterrestrials. What was I talking? Extraterrestrials. Aliens. So I have tried to live simply. The only issue is that people have had such hard opinions about me. When I say hard, I don't necessarily mean like salty or even negative, but their opinions are so strongly held. They're not willing to realize that the things are just like very simple. Like the idea of like all someone wanting to do is like hang out at home is like a new idea to them. It's like, that's your goal. That's my goal, is to just hang out. An endless summer vacation is what I'm talking about. Like summer vacation all the time. That's what I want. That's my goal. Some people, they want to fucking be like really famous. Like some people, they want to, they want to have like 5 kids, 10 kids. Some people, they want to be like known as like the smartest fucks who ever lived. They want to do all this shit, and it takes a lot of hard work to get there. And some people, they just want to have like their basic family or whatever. They just want to be able to, they want to have a wife, and they want to have all this. And they believe that there's a certain amount of work you have to put forth. To them, that is being productive. To me, I've done a lot of studying, and I know what is effective in my world based on the things that I'm familiar with, which most people, if they were familiar with this, they'd be supporting me 100%. They'd be saying, get this fucking guy off the street right now, get him his fucking house, get him whatever the fuck he wants. If he wants a fucking 5, video game system, if you want 50 fucking video games, a lazy boy chair, like a laptop computer, if he wants it, give it to him. If you knew what I knew. But you guys don't want to listen. You think you know everything, so I'm going to let you see what I am 28, I'm between 28 and 48% attempting to manipulate you right now, by the way. Meaning the things that I'm saying are not purely for information or purely not purely to express some type of artistic intent. Between 28 and 48%, what I'm saying is designed to manipulate you and manipulate your sympathies so that you will want to provide this housing for me for free that I want. So I gotta let you know that, just in case you're wondering. It's like, oh, is this guy pulling? Yeah, 28%, 48%. I want you to want to like get me what I want. All right. So if you happen to be an extraterrestrial and you're watching this video and you're like, I wonder, is this guy one of us? Like, is he the same type of alien I am? Don't say anything. All right, don't fucking go around saying like, oh, I should fucking no. Stay quiet, because these guys, these guys, like, they, I don't know. They wear clothes, but they're not really much far from animals, ultimately. Okay, shopping during a pandemic, you guys are very close to animals. You're not as fucking evolved as you think you are. You got your computers, you got your clothes, you got all these things, but your ideas are still based around fucking and sex. And you can't, there's a limit to the evolution of that, because all that is like, come and go. That's all it is. And so, anyway, if you are an extraterrestrial and you're watching this video and you're wondering, should I tell people that I'm an extraterrestrial? Don't do it. Just because these guys, they're not, they may like say, oh, we would welcome you, you are one of us. Just don't do it. Get, some good clothes, get something, to make you stay safe. Keep safety in mind. Because as of this, taping or whatever, I can't think of one single trustworthy fuck in this entire planet. The only trustworthy people I can think of are imaginary people, like fucking like Neji Hyuga from Naruto, and Commissioner James Gordon from Batman, and Spock from Star Trek. These guys are fucking trustworthy people, but they are, a part of a fictional world, so I can't. There are no trustworthy. All right, anyway. I'm 34 years old, and I've got the best upgrades on Earth.